Well, let's get some more analysis on that now with Sky News US analyst Michael Ware. Michael, we've got that post on Truth Social by Donald Trump, and he seems to explain a kind of rationale for Ukraine to go on the offensive against Russia. And as we heard from Ivor, is this Donald Trump setting the stage for more military kind of help with Ukraine, or is it just growing frustration with Vladimir Putin?
I think it's the latter, perhaps frustration with Putin. It really makes one wonder, what did President Trump see in President Putin in that one-on-one meeting in Alaska that has urged him to write such a statement on his own Truth Social platform? He must have looked deep into President Putin's eyes. Now, the post itself is beguiling for us here in the United States because it's almost a complete reversal of President Trump's stated policy, but it would be galling to the Ukrainians, both their people and their armed forces, because they've been begging and begging since day one for offensive weapons, because they have been fighting this war with one arm tied behind their back. This is a nation that's willing to keep funneling its young men and women to the front line, to fight, to die, and to be wounded. That is without question their spirit. What they've lacked is the means to win. Now, first, the Biden administration provided weapons, but out of fear of causing or sparking actual conflict between the states and Russia itself, the Biden administration put limits on the kinds of weapons, mostly defensive. If you remember the issue over the HIMARS artillery or missile system, at first the Americans wouldn't provide that because it had the capacity to launch deep into Russia itself. Eventually, the Biden administration provided them. Now, President Trump is the one who suspended arms supplies to Ukraine and has finally refashioned those supplies by allowing his European allies to provide the weapons if they buy them as they buy them off American manufacturers. So look, the Ukrainians have been hampered or nobbled in their ability to attack, and that's been done by the US itself. And there's one other posture the Americans could take, or one other strategic move. That would be to just give the Ukrainians what they want, overload them with the capacity not just to hold ground, but to win, and then unleash them. And that wouldn't cost American blood, might require American treasure, but you arm the Ukrainians enough and they will truly take the fight to the Russians and potentially drive them all the way back into Mother Russia. Now, that's an extreme option, but it's one that do we think President Trump is now considering, given that he wants them to stop being a sporting team with great defence, but no chance of winning?
Yeah, it's interesting to hear those comments from Donald Trump, certainly, and does it show that his attitude is slightly changing. Michael Ware, it's good to talk to you. We'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for that.